I feel bad. Like, not good. Yeah, I feel bad. Not happy. I don't know why. And that's okay. And also, it's a bit annoying. Many things are annoying. Yeah, hello. Welcome to LVlog number 24, if I make that a video. Why do I make this video? Well, partly because of that I want stuff to persist idea. Partly because I want to show myself in a state that you might not be used to, such that I don't, have this selective view on my life in those videos. And also partly just to try and structure my thoughts, and maybe talking about stuff makes it easier for me to understand what's going wrong. Or no. That's what's going on is what I want to say. Yeah, so I've been in this state for a while. And it's not a present moment kind of a thing. I mean, yes, it is now in the present moment. I feel like but that's been coming back every day pretty much since like a month or so. And I have days where I find parts of the day that I really enjoy as well, like the birthday party of my uncle. I went really into an energetic good place simply because there was like party music and there was family there, and especially there were children there, and I was dancing with them, and it was really nice. But most of the time I'm in a bad state, and I don't remember that being the case for most of my life. And maybe I've just pushed that down and forgot about it. I'm not good at remembering. I figured out I'm really not like other people have way better memory. I apparently don't need that. I can forget things, and it's not bad. Like, I have my videos to remind me of things, but like I don't know how I felt most of my life, and I also don't think I felt so bad. Like, especially in childhood, I don't know. But in study, like while I was studying, yes, I was struggling with a few things, but I don't remember having this constant feeling. And also, like a year ago, that's times that I can still remember a little bit better. Like when I think of the beginning of the year, the vlog I made, there was in a way better state. Also, the one vlog I remember making on the hills of Vienna at those grapevines, there was in a good state. I also remember being in way better states like a few months ago when I really felt like, I now I'm like centered, I feel compassion for other people, and it's all kind of nice. And right now I'm more like, fuck, something I'm not happy with, and that just drags through my entire life and kind of pushes me down, or I push myself down, because it's definitely self-made. Like it's not an external thing. It's not, and I can't even point to, this is the thing that I struggle with. It's just a general feeling of and because of that general feeling of all the little things annoy me, and because the little things annoy me, I keep in this state of it's a downward spiral that I'm currently in. And I'm still far away from the becoming suicidal or whatever. Like, I still have enough parts of my life that I enjoy that I don't even think about that. And the funny thing is, like, my life is good from the outside perspective. Like, I think there are many people who would want to change to a life like mine, the way I describe it, or the way that it looks to the outside, maybe, where basically I'm fully healthy. I managed to basically get all of my bodily issues under control. I have no physical pain. Granted, I don't have the reaction times or the elan as I had in my early 20s. Like, I do notice that my body needs a bit more rest, but I'm healthy. And also, I live in the most livable city on that planet, in one of the nicest districts, where a park like this is like a 5-minute walk away. I do not struggle with money or anything really, or my job. I barely have to work to have enough money to basically be able to spend it on whatever I want. And that from the outside all sounds great, right? It's like, it's a nice life, right? And yet all of those things I started taking for granted, and I'm like, yeah, I mean, I wouldn't want to change my life with anybody else's simply because I don't know what they really struggle with. There's no person that comes to mind where I'm like, yeah, that's the life. Because like I have now an understanding of, yeah, stuff that patterns that other people are in. Just, you know, they don't have the capacity to even think about those things because they are in this constant struggle of, you know, working and then coming home, having to take care of the kids and then going to sleep to work again, so that they don't have time to deal with stuff and suppress all of their emotions and whatever, which I used to do for like the longest time. And there surely is a lot of emotion stored in my body, in my central nervous system, and maybe that is now slowly starting to get out, show itself, because I let it. I had my first 2 somatic experiencing sessions. I started doing that because somebody recommended it to me, said roommate that I mentioned in the last LVlog. And that was actually a really good experience. Like, first session she gave me a lot of like theory input, and then also did like a first exercise where basically she just said, yeah, feel this, feel that. And she then said, wow, you were really activated. And I was like, I didn't feel anything. Only at the very end, I felt a little bit of a little bit of an anger, I don't want to do that feeling. But she already noticed this way before by the way I moved my nostrils. Because I was like apparently moving my nostrils, and that made her have the impression that I'm angry, or like that's how she saw there's this anger or activation or whatever she called it. And that's really interesting. So she knows what she's talking about. And the second session we like got into a bit of this anger, and then towards the end we even managed to get to that sadness that is behind that anger. And that's something that I don't manage myself. So having somebody coach me through that is really nice. And really all she says is, yeah, let that happen basically. You don't need to mask it, you don't need to push it down, which is what I learned to do, which is what I usually do, right? In front of other people or even in front of the camera, I do not show my emotions. In fact, I sometimes maybe even mask it with other emotions like excitement. I can very easily get into my excitement state because I just need to be like, hey, welcome to another video. Let's smile a lot because that makes me happy as well. And I even feel it. I get enthusiastic and I can totally like talk about stuff that is fun and cool and my life is so great and everything. But really that's not authentic at all. This is just me masking it. And sometimes I feel it. Like sometimes it is authentic, I guess. Sometimes I really just am in that state. And that's nice. And sometimes I'm not, like right now. Right now I'm more, yeah, angry. And I don't know about what. Like there's just this anger that tries to protect me. I try to protect myself with that anger from something. Like that's a helpful strategy that I learned. That was important to me at some point. I needed that anger to get me places. And like even in recent years that anger helped me. Because I was frustrated with my job situation, I didn't like certain things, and I felt that anger and life was shit, and so I changed stuff. And now I don't complain about work anymore because I figured out a way where that's easy now. So I found other things to, you know, struggle with, like the meaning of life as we had in the last video. And I was talking about that as well with my therapist. I have a new one now. That was my 3rd session, but she's way better than the previous one I had because, I don't know, it's just, yeah, I feel it that it's better. She actually pushes me. The other one was just, yeah, talk about your things and I can't really tell you what to do, just, you know, talk. And I was like, why am I paying 110 euros per session for this shit? This is useless. Might as well talk to a camera, which is cheaper. So yeah. But yeah, the new one, more helpful. Not like she can give me the meaning of life, but she at least pushed me and pointed out that basically I'm doing to myself what my mom was doing to me, you know, back in the days when I, poor little Andy, 8-year-old, didn't want to do his homework, is like super frustrated and crying and just doesn't want to do the homework. I have this, I know I'm sitting at the kitchen table, I need to do the fucking homework, fucking annoying bullshit, I don't want to do that, but I must. She says I must do my homework. Fucking ridiculous bullshit. I don't want to do that. But yeah, the reaction from my mom is you have to do the homework. And my therapist was like, so what are you doing to yourself right now? And basically had me realize that I'm basically doing the same to myself right now with I need to figure out what the meaning of life is. Like I need to figure it out. I can't live without figuring it out. I must figure this out. Like there is no, you can do it later. You can't do your homework later, you need to do it now. But I'm like, I'm frustrated, I'm overwhelmed, I'm helpless, I have no idea how, I can't. And then I also tell myself, but I must. And then I feel bad because I just can't. Yeah, that's where I am right now. And I still haven't figured it out, but I'm in the process of allowing myself to be okay with not having it figured out. And that is difficult for me. It's really difficult for me. I kind of realize or understand how religion is useful now. Like I'm not a big fan of religion. I stepped out of church a long time ago. Not even that long, but at the moment where I had to pay, I'm like, goodbye. Leaving that institution. I'm not religious. Fun fact, I was somewhat, no, not religious, but I invented my own religion when I was a child. And I wasn't even that young, that was grammar school times. How old are you there? Like 11, 12? As a 12-year-old, I had my own religion. And I called it Die Macht des Tigers. I don't think I ever shared that anywhere ever, except in my own diary that I was writing, which is not public. I want to find those. Anyway, and the idea, I don't know, there was a tiger in heaven or somewhere, and I had a stuffed animal, like a plushie, that was a tiger, a white tiger, and that was basically the son of the tiger, so I stole some ideas from Christianity. And he was down with me, and he was the link to the force, die Macht. The force of the tiger is the literal translation. And yeah, basically I was negotiating with that tiger, doing things like, okay, I do this now and therefore this will happen. This was my religion. Okay, I'm doing things now, but therefore I have better chances for this. Like this kind of pushing that, yeah, I don't know. Anyway, that was my religion. But religion can be so helpful because it can remove this need for understanding or this need for knowing it all, right? Because if you can say God has a plan and you trust in God's plan, then you're basically done. You can be like, yeah, I don't know it all, but God has a plan and I will just continue living the way God wants me to, and it will all be good because God has a plan. There is somebody else, somebody external in heaven who has a plan and who knows that it's all good the way we do it. And my issue is I don't have that. I don't believe in God. I just don't. Like, there's just that if we die, and that's it. And the universe is gonna die with us. Well, after us. But it's gonna die. So there is no plan. And that's what I struggle with then. Because if I knew there was, even if there was somebody else that I knew would have a plan, then I could just be like, yeah, it's great. It's all part of the plan. But at that point in my life, I don't have that. I am the highest authority that I know. I don't have anyone higher. Therefore, I need to have that plan. And that's why, that's what got me into this shitty situation. Because I don't have a plan, we're all just gonna die. And then everything was useless anyway. I had a dream tonight. Well, tonight, it was like 10 a.m. It was the last dream I had before getting up. It was kind of a nightmare. It was a longer dream of first we were at the lake and we were swimming there and then we got out or whatever. And then we're sitting at the kitchen table and an alarm goes off. And I check and I go outside, my grandma is there and she sees like a plane tumbling down, crashing. And we all knew, okay, war has started. There is war in Austria. The funny thing is, the next thing I did, and that again is a great, symbol of my priorities or values or whatever. What I did is I went back inside, I got my phone, turned it on, put it on the camera, went outside and started filming 2 fighter jets going over us. Filmed myself and I was like, war has started in Austria. And that was the end of my dream, and then I kind of realized, wait, this is a dream. I don't need to continue this. And then I woke myself up. But I don't usually have nightmares. Like, I don't usually have dreams like that. Usually my dreams are pretty like chill. But this one, I kind of felt this panic of, okay, we're all gonna die. It's all over. This is it now. And maybe that's what I'm afraid of. Like, that's because, I mean, yeah, pretty much that is what I'm afraid of. Or like, I'm not afraid of it, I just see it coming. It's like, it's nothing I can do. I'm in this, I can't do anything about it position, right? It's like, I mean, we're fucked. So nothing matters. And it's so interesting to observe myself being in this nothing matters state. And that has good things and it has bad things. The good things are that I worry less. I still feel bad, but I worry less, right? Usually smells trigger me a lot. Like when I'm on the street and I smell like car exhausts, I'm like, fuck, I'm gonna get cancer from that, I'm gonna die early. But if I'm in this nothing matters anyway state, then yeah, okay, I'm gonna die early. It's not like that makes a difference. Same with the incense that they had at the mindful yoga workout session. Mindful Body is what it's called, where I went to yesterday. Usually I'm like, I don't like it, but yesterday I was like, yeah, I don't like it, and I'm okay with it because we're all gonna die anyway. And also plastic, like I have a big thing with plastic, not wanting to eat the first and last slice of cheese in the packaging because it touched the packaging, because I don't want to expose myself to that microplastic because I'm gonna die earlier. But with this attitude, whatever, we're all gonna die. It doesn't matter. It does not matter. So there are good things that come with this. Obviously there are also bad things. I also care less like about eating meat, because like the main reason why I stopped eating meat is I told myself, well, it's better for the environment if you don't eat meat. Go vegan. So I tried to go vegan. I was pretty like strict with that for a while. And now I'm like, we're gonna die anyway. Planet is fucked anyway, fuck it. And the political situation that also doesn't help. European Union had a vote recently for the European Parliament or whatever. I went to vote and I only looked at the results for like a second and I was like, oh fuck that. Because it seems like the far right made a lot of like wins, which is not what I voted for. And definitely not the direction I would like to see the European Union go. Like my values align more with other parties than the far right. But again, that's nothing I can do. Like, I can literally not influence that. I mean, I could by going to vote, and I did, and therefore, like, there's nothing more than I can do. So I just let it, right? It just can't influence it. Okay, whatever. They're gonna fuck up the planet, we're gonna fuck up the planet, it's fine. Same with the US. Like, I'm pretty certain that Trump's gonna get president again. I don't like that. But it's nothing I can do about it. It's gonna set us back in terms of climate protection for another 10 years or whatever, or more. I mean, we're fucked anyway. And if we're not fucked in the next 100 years, well, then we would be fucked in the next 1,000. So what's the difference, right? Who cares? Well, I care. I do care still. Yeah, I'm in this it doesn't matter state that, and maybe deep within I don't want to be in this I don't care state. Maybe that's why I feel so bad. Because a part of me still wants to fight. That's why this anger is here. Anger mobilizes me to fight, to do something. To do stuff, to get shit done, to change stuff. To make the world a better place. And I limit it by saying it doesn't matter. I also started eating meat again. Did I say that already? At the birthday party, there was so much food that I was like, yeah, I'll have that. There were no vegan choices anyway, and I wanted to eat, so I just had some of that meat. And I don't feel bad about that at all. Like, and I'm having cheese again, and like, I'm not strictly vegan anymore. Cause what's the point? Why would I limit myself from the pleasures of having good food when we're all fucked anyway? It doesn't matter if we slaughter a few more pigs and chickens and cows. What's the thing called before it becomes the beef? Livestock? No, that's the general word. Anyway, cows, bulls, yeah, whatever. Maybe there's no word for the male cow. Whatever, it's not important. We're gonna die anyway. Wow, speaking of that, it's not important. I wanted to support Crash Course. Because even though we're all fucked long term anyway, if I want to give my life some purpose, what I could do, I thought, in order to make the planet better, one of the things that is important is education. Essentially, if we were all educated better, we won't make those bad decisions like voting for the far right, which, granted, there are good reasons to do that. Like, people are generally scared of something, that's why they vote for certain parties. The question is, does that solve their problems? Or are those parties just playing with their emotions to get their votes? But anyway, education I think is very important in everything and making the planet better, because we will need a lot of research to invent new things to deal with the things that are happening to us or that we have happened to us. So having people be smart is probably a good thing. So I wanted to support free education, which is what Crash Course is doing. I still watch Hank and John's videos from, you know, back in the days. I started watching them in like 2009, which is 2 years after they started, and they are still making videos. And I never supported them in any, well, I bought John's book and stuff and I went to VidCon, but I never like just purely from a I want to support them perspective supported them. Actually, I also spent money on the P4A and whatever, but that goes somewhere else. And so they recently released a Crash Course coin, different levels. The highest level is like $1,000, which reaches 20,000 learners. And I was like, oh, I want to get that. I can afford $1,000, whatever, right? $1,000 is me making one video. I can afford that, right? So let's do it. But then I stopped myself for a moment and I was like, wait, you're spending €1,000. Is that a rush decision? Because everything above like €100, I try to think about it, because I learned in crypto that if you're pushed to invest in something fast, then it's usually a scam. So I left that tab open and I was like, okay, I'll deal with this tomorrow. I'll think about it again tomorrow. Then 5 days or so passed and I didn't look at that tab again. But I saw another video of John mentioning the coin again and I was like, oh, that's right, I do want to get that. And I changed the delivery address to Austria, which converted it to euros and then added shipping costs and taxes, €200 of taxes. So in the end I had to pay like €1,150 for them to get $1,000, which I was like, okay, fine, whatever, I just pay that. And I put in my bank details, you know, my credit card details, and I was like, buy. And then it said, couldn't process payment. And I was like, fuck. I did it again, maybe I typed it wrong, and then same thing happened. And so I called my bank, what the fuck, I have like 40k on my bank account, why can I not buy this? And they were like, we have no idea, we'll look into it. So I called my bank, they were like, we'll look into it, we'll get back to you, we'll call you back, right? Didn't call me back. An entire day, next day, I called them again and asked what the fuck's going on, and they were like, well, the payment got blocked because of PSA, whatever that means, fraud protection reasons. I was like, okay, cool. Can I just authorize it, please? And they were like, yes, but we'll need to have that in written form. Please write a letter with your signature and email that to us. And I was like, for $1,000? Okay, fine, I do that. So I did that, and then I emailed that to them. And they were like, yeah, we'll process that 2 days, so you can spend it tomorrow. Fine. Next day, which is today, in the morning, because I want to check if the payment works now, and I see that the Crash Course coin is not available anymore. So thank you, my bank, you saved me €1,000, but also you stopped me from supporting a cause that I wanted to support. And I only wanted to do it from my business account because I wanted to write it off as business expense, because I mean, it's donation, that's a business expense, right? Tax authorities would probably be like, no, but then I would have probably made a video where I show that coin and made some argument why it's a valid tax write-off. I mean, I kinda am annoyed by the people being loud here, and at the same time I kinda enjoy how they can just be and not give a fuck. Yeah, being young, that's the life. Yeah, so anyway, so I didn't, and I could just support them by donating now, but now I don't want to anymore. Now I'm just pissed at my bank for being a fucking bullshit bank. Yeah, I'm a crypto user, I'm just not used to not being able to spend my own fucking money. And if I lose it, then it's on me, but fucking let me spend it, assholes. Yeah, I'm just in this general, and usually I don't care about those things. Like, yeah, okay, that bank doesn't let me pay for that. I have 2 other banks where I have accounts on that would probably let me spend that money. But I didn't because I couldn't be bothered, and then it was too late. And now I'm just annoyed. And I'm just annoyed because I'm like in this general anger state where everything annoys me. All the little things piss me off. Even though they really... fucking thing flying in my eye, it's just annoying. Even though, you know, whatever, it's normal. Like, I could just... If I was in a good state, which is how I know myself, you know, like half a year ago or so, then I would be like, yeah, it's all cool. It's all fine. It's just normal, whatever. But at the moment, all the things just annoy me. And I can be with that. It's okay. I allow myself to be in an aggressive or sad state. And yes, the real emotion here is sadness, but it's completely covered with that anger. Like, because I fully protect myself to not show the sadness. I don't get there. I don't allow myself to get there. With somatic experiencing, somehow we got there. But I can now myself not access it. Not even if I wanted to, I can't get to my sadness myself. Not yet, I don't have those skills yet. But I know that somewhere deep in there it's there. It's way more than the anger. I think the anger is just a cover-up. Yeah, and I don't know where the sadness comes from. Probably a combination of old stuff from childhood and maybe also some hopelessness of, you know, some grief for the planet and some grief for the universe or humanity. I don't know, something like that. Because I realized that we're not gonna live forever, and by we I mean humanity. And I realized that eventually everything's gonna die, and that has me grief. And apparently I can't just grieve because I don't allow it. Like, I don't allow myself to do that because I learned that crying is bad or whatever. And so my automatic protection is to go in this anger. Or before that, actually, I would go into numbness, but with all the body work that I do, like feeling myself, I can now feel the anger and the feeling bad. Because maybe that was always there. Maybe it's always been like that. I've always been in this bad state, just that I have completely put the lid on it and be in my happy state, because that's what we do around here. We want to be happy. Yay! And I can totally do that. I can get myself out of that. I can completely ignore that. It's really easy to get myself away from this. But that means not dealing with it. That doesn't have it go away, that just keeps it there. And then every day I fall back into this feeling of feeling bad. And every day I would need to try harder to get myself out of that. So my strategy now is to just allow myself to feel bad. And hopefully eventually be through with it. Be through with the grief and be through with the feeling all of the sadness. And then just be able to live my life in a relaxed way. That's another funny thing. My somatic experiencing coach, or whatever you call that, told me the way she perceived me when she first saw me was like a Waschlappen. You know, just not relaxed, but loose, like, you know, just hanging there. So it's not a calm, relaxed way how I presented myself. I didn't present myself at all, it's just how I was there, how I am. So that was interesting, yeah. And I want to get to a place where I can just be relaxed, where I just don't worry about dogs attacking me. Or I just don't worry about life, the universe and everything. Which is a reference to, what's it called? The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? I mean, there probably is no answer. It's certainly not 42, even though I would like to believe that. that it was that easy. I did ask my granddad, well, not directly, but I told him last time I visited that I'm recently struggling with, you know, the meaning of life and what's the point of it all. And he was like, yeah, that is a difficult thing. He was like, yeah, actually really compassionate. Like, yeah, that is something that people struggle with. And then towards the end, when I left, he was like, you just gotta enjoy it. His words were genießen. Du musst das Leben genießen. So the translation is to enjoy. So apparently for him the meaning of life is to enjoy it. To enjoy life. I mean, that's a very unsatisfying answer, but also I don't think there's a better one. I don't because I mean, difficult. What's my issue with that? If it's just about me enjoying my life, that's first of all a very narcissistic kind of a point of view, because I could probably enjoy my life more by doing things that harm others, and I don't want to do that. I don't know why. So there must be something more to it, something more to the I just live for myself, because we are like humans and we should work together kind of, and I kind of want to put the whole of humanity above my own life. Would I sacrifice my own life for humanity to live longer? Yeah, probably would. So even for certain other people I would, probably. Especially like my own children, should I ever have some. But yeah, so this enjoying, right? This enjoying your life. Gotta enjoy your life. That's the whole point of it. Sometimes I'm thinking I'm just an ant in a hive. The individual ant doesn't really matter that much, does it? It gets stepped on by whatever, or it gets thrown into the lake and then drowns. But there are other ants that keep building that hive, and then there's something that they build, and then it's destroyed because the forest caught fire and all of them die, and then that's it. That's how I feel about humanity. We're just ants together on this planet that will eventually also die. Which is funny, because if you think about like aliens, like, because we as humans like to think that we are the most advanced species or whatever that exists, but maybe so do ants. Or maybe they don't think at all, but they don't cognitively realize that humans exist, and humans don't show themselves to ants because why would we? It's just ants. We're not gonna come to them to explain them how great our entire planet is, because they're ants. They wouldn't get it. So if there's like other aliens or whatever out there in the universe who can like travel around, they would see a planet like ours and be like, yeah, those humans or whatever they would call us, right? Whatever, we don't care about them. They're just gonna build their thing here, destroy their own planet, or get eaten by their sun, and then that's that. We don't need to deal with that, right? It's whatever. They're not gonna even interact with us. And that's a funny thought. Maybe it is the case that we just don't know about the others. Or maybe we are the most advanced civilization in the universe. Who the fuck knows? But the thing is, it doesn't matter, because sooner or later our civilization is gonna die off, and so do all the civilizations, unless there is such an advanced civilization that can even hack the entropy. This is interesting now, because this is what gives me hope. Here I'm giving myself hope. It's not humanity. Or maybe it is humanity in like 100,000 years or whatever, if we manage to get that far. Which to me looks very unlikely, but whoop, might as well give it a shot. At some point when we're like far enough ahead and mining the sun for energy properly, such that we can freeze ourselves and travel far distances where time doesn't really matter much. And maybe we find like other loopholes in our current model of physics that would allow us to live longer, or that would allow us to reverse the whole, oh, we're back to the reversing the aging thing? Yeah, reversing the aging of the universe, reducing entropy and whatever. I mean, who knows? Who knows? If there was a God who had the answer, who would know, and I could just believe in that, that would be great. Because then I would be like, yeah, there is a plan. I might just be this little ant doing the tasks that I was created to do, which is getting some sticks and trying to get it into the hive. And if I die on the way out, then I die on the way out. There are other ants continuing the job I was supposed to do. But together we will build this hive. And maybe humanity is like that. We're all trying to do the thing that we think is the right thing to do, and eventually the winning trade will survive and the others are gonna die, and there will be lots of suffering and whatever, and it's fine. Because there are things that we just can't change. But the thing is, we could totally change stuff about climate change if we would work together and would be on the same page of it. But we are not. Therefore, we will not manage. And that's okay. I myself, as this little ant, cannot decide whether or not the forest burns down. Maybe if all the ant colonies would come together and freaking, I don't know, build some fire protection around the forest or whatever, or some... And even then, they will just temporarily stop the wood from burning. Eventually, something else is gonna happen. If it's not climate change that kills us, we will find other ways. And I don't think climate change is what kills us. Climate change is just what's gonna make our life worse. Pretty much all of our lives, except for the rich. And hey, here I am, being amongst the richest of the planet. So personally, I don't think climate change is gonna affect me much. Yes, it will, but I don't own a house in an area that gets flooded because I just don't own a house. I'll just keep renting with my money and I keep it invested in crypto and be rich forever. Right? Something like that. And I was asked this recently by a friend of mine because he said some people don't even want to put children into this world because it's like, what did he say? Unverantwortlich. Irresponsible, that's the word. Irresponsible. It would be irresponsible to put children into this world, seeing that it's gonna, you know, whatever. And I'm like, pfft, I don't see it that way at all. First of all, my own children, I would hopefully teach in a way that they would be on the right side, fighting the fight to, you know, make the planet better. Now, do I put something on my children that I don't even do myself? Maybe. And if they choose not to do so, then that's fine as well. But I'm hoping that they would, or at least, you know, not vote for the far right and stuff. That's the one thing. The second thing, on a more like, again, narcissistic, egoistic view, climate change is most affecting the poor who can't do anything about it. Whereas me, if I have money, I can just avoid all the bad stuff. Or like most of the bad stuff, right? I mean, I can still get unlucky and drown in one of the floods or whatever comes our way, or the tsunamis or whatever nature's gonna throw at us because it's pissed at us for heating up the planet, which we totally deserve, let's be honest. But you know, I can just, you know, move to Norway, one of the most expensive countries, and, you know, buy property there or rent property there or whatever. Somewhere on a stone mountain that is unlikely to get completely flooded or drained or whatever, right? So for me and my family, we will figure out a way, at least for the next generation or two. I'm fairly confident that with my current knowledge, I will always be able to find a job to make enough money to be on the surviving side. To be able to, you know, when Austria gets completely flooded or whatever, I can move somewhere else. So no, I don't see it as irresponsible to have children. I see it as irresponsible from certain other peoples to have so many children that they can't even afford. But then, who am I to judge what other people should do? So I'll try not to judge. I mean, internally I still judge. I think some people should just not have children because they just give their trauma to next generations and not create smart humans, but then again, on the other side, we also need like non-smart humans who do the shitty tasks, like, you know, cleaning up our streets. And now I'm degrading certain jobs. But yeah, it's true, there are certain jobs that I certainly wouldn't want to do. Like, I totally do not see myself as a cashier or as even somebody working in gastro, what's it called, waiting tables and stuff. All of those service things, poof, absolutely not for me. Or building houses and stuff, that's all just, I want to be working with my brain and not with my body, and in fact I don't want to be working at all, but what I do right now is like challenging enough that I'm okay with it. Like it's stimulating enough. It's stimulating in a way that I like doing it, but I would probably not like doing the same thing over and over again. I'm really not that kind of person. And that might just be my ADHD or my autism or whatever I have no idea. Pretty sure I'm like a bit autistic and I have a bit of an ADHD brain, but never tested, no idea. Anyway, so we also need those kind of people. We still need people to do stuff until we can, you know, optimize everything with like robots, which is another freaking thing that I could probably talk hours about. The whole automatization and AI stuff. Oh, AI is gonna steal all our jobs? Great! Let it! Please let it! Please let AI have all of our jobs such that we can, you know, do nothing and not have to worry about work. And, you know, have the time and resources to actually deal with ourselves. That's what I said in the beginning. A person who needs to work the entire day and then take care of the children does not have capacity to even worry about those things. So let AI take their jobs. Then we can work less. Then we don't need to work like 40 hours but work 10 hours a week. That would be so much nicer. I'm already almost there. Like I pretty much do work more. Depends on what you count as work. And I have another video where I pretty much discuss that I do work a lot. But really, I could also work way less, which at the moment I do. Because the thing is, and that brings me back to the me feeling bad. I mean, I'm okay with feeling bad, but it is a bit limiting in that state I don't feel okay doing my actual job, which is recording Solana tutorials. Because in my Solana tutorials, I'm usually fairly, you know, happy and enthusiastic, which is one aspect why I like them, or why what makes viewers want to watch them, I think, because they're engaging like that. But I can't be that engaging if I feel so bad, because then I'm just frustrated and I use bad language, because fucking asshole idiots, I hate all of the world attitude is really not particularly entertaining to watch. Well, maybe entertaining, but not nice to watch. So that's where I am. That's how I feel, and that's okay. I don't need to be perfect. I don't need to have it all figured out already. I don't need to ever figure it out. It's okay to be an ant in an ant hive, and it's even okay to be a lonely ant and then, I don't know, die lonely. Just enjoy your life eating all that nice fruit that you just found on the street or whatever. Yeah, ants. It's okay, just enjoy yourself. Enjoy yourself on that little bit of sugar that you found until you eventually die. It's okay. If that's life, that's life. And maybe I get to that point where I can fully just enjoy life. Maybe what I'm missing really is just a loving family. For once, because if I have other issues to deal with, like how do I get my kids to school and all that stuff, then I don't worry about my own thoughts and struggles that much. If there is something that needs my attention in the here and now, then I'm not so much in my head, or at least then I use my head to try and find solutions for the problem I'm facing, and those problems usually have actual solutions, not like the what's the point of life that does not seem to have one. Like some mathematical problems, some just don't have solutions. And that's okay. Maybe I can find the proof that there is no solution. But what's that good for? I don't know. Anyway, so that's the one thing that a family would, help. And the second thing is co-regulation. Because I, by myself, am really bad at regulating myself. I never really learned that. And yes, to a certain degree, I can learn it. I can be with my feelings and have them, whatever. But I do notice, especially in the last few days, whenever I'm around people, more specifically people that I trust, I immediately feel a lot better. Yesterday I went for dinner with Christian and I was like completely relaxed there. I didn't feel bad at all because I had him essentially. And also today in the morning I already had this state. I was like feeling bad. And I went shopping and I came back and I saw my flatmate in the laundry room doing laundry, and I went to her and we just had a short conversation, and basically just by me checking, oh, she's not angry at me, everything seems to be alright. We were joking around a bit. She was telling me about her plan with the laundry, and I immediately felt a lot like calmer, not so bad and angry. It came back then later. Just because I ignore it doesn't mean it's gone, and as soon as something triggers it again, I'm fully back in that bad state. But it helped temporarily, and potentially if I really have someone that I can, you know, talk with and that listens to me and who validates my feelings, that could actually be super helpful in, you know, just feeling through it and then letting it go. Because for now I gotta do that myself, or, you know, pay people a bunch of money to do that with me. But I want to do that more. I would need a lot more therapy to get through all of that. And then we cycle back in that spiral to, is that even worth it? Why do I do all of that? It's all pointless in the end anyway. Why do I make so much effort to fix myself if I'm gonna die anyway, and my children are also gonna die, and everybody's gonna die, and it's all pointless? I don't know. Maybe there is a point to it. I mean, that's just the one side. The one side that is so overwhelmed that I say it's all pointless. The other side still wants to fight. The other side is still like, we're gonna do this, we're gonna improve ourselves, we're gonna learn stuff, we're gonna keep learning, we're gonna make some money and support good causes, and we're gonna have a family, and we're gonna teach them the right values, and then we're gonna, you know, that's also still present. I still wanna do that. I don't wanna give up on life. And even if I am in this, it all doesn't matter in the end anyway. There is still this, well, yes, and you can enjoy it. Allow yourself to enjoy it. Because essentially that's what my granddad told me. I just gotta enjoy my life. He did that when he still could, he said. Now he's old, lost his wife, is super sad about that. Like, there's a lot of grief in him. And I guess that's normal and that's fair. And that can be, according to me. Not so much my dad, probably. Rhymey. But yeah, he used to travel a lot. He used to see places. He didn't even have the nicest life. They didn't have much money. Only the last few years he actually had a good job, a well-paid job, and then he got a lot of retirement money because he retired relatively early, as soon as he could. He retired because he didn't want to have happen what happened to his dad, who died 1 year after retirement. He was like, no, he's leaving. And then he had great time with his wife. They were together 70 years. 70 years and 3 weeks, he keeps reminding me. 70 years and 3 weeks. That is longer than I have left to live. So that's crazy, in a way, and stresses me in a way. But also, it's super nice, like, it's so nice for him. And I don't want to have the same life as him, but I also want to enjoy my life, which he seems to have managed. And part of that is the traveling and the doing stuff and the having enough money to be able to do that. But part of that is also the family. I think the family is probably one of the most important things to him. And I think I also got that, like, I kind of inherited that sort of a feeling. And maybe that's also one reason why I'm just generally unhappy, having this feeling of lacking something. Not only the meaning of life, also the family. And I'm not alone with that. There are other people who struggle with the same thing, and I know that. I even know other people who struggle with the same thing. And that's okay. And eventually I will manage, or not. Someone will have a plan for me, right? If I can only trust in that, then I would be much calmer. If I could offload that pressure of having to have a plan. Because if it should be, then it will be, is one mantra that I once had in that mindful body class. Simple but effective. Yeah. If it should be, it will be. And I will also manage my life without, because it doesn't matter. Long term, it doesn't matter. Whether or not I have children, doesn't matter. But for me personally, I kind of want to. And that is purely I want it kind of I want to enjoy my life, and I think I can enjoy my life more with children than without. That's funny, because many people would argue the opposite, because children do limit a lot. It's like 50% of your time is just cancelled and you now have to deal with, you know, taking care of this child. In an ideal case where you're two people and you can, you know, take turns. Otherwise you might be stuck with like 90% or whatever if you're a single mom, which I will not be. I'm more afraid that I will be a dad who never gets to see their children. But anyway, point is, I would prefer, even all things considered, I would prefer that. And I don't know, because I don't know what it would be like, but I imagine that I will enjoy my life more having children than not having children. Also purely for my own enjoyment, because children do bring me a lot of joy. I totally know this about myself, and I could find other ways to, you know, be with children. And I'm working on getting there. But it's funny, right now I'm worrying way more about the whole life and it all doesn't matter than I worry about the me finding a partner. The me finding a partner currently is not a topic. Well, it is a topic, but it's not like a present topic. I still have it in the back of my head. Yeah, eventually I want to find someone, but like that's not my main struggle right now, interestingly. Yeah, anyway, I do want children at some point. And I will get, because I think because if I don't, I guess I will keep imagining what it would be like if I had some. And I don't think that I would worry much about the opposite when I have children. Oh, what would it be like if I wouldn't? Because guess what? I am currently in that position where I don't. And I'm not happy. I am just not. And the thing is, I can do whatever I want. Like, it's so crazy. I have the money. I could go to Bali. I could go wherever. Chill on an island. I could go to a spa. I could go whatever I fucking want. I could do all of it. I could do all of it. I could go to a brothel and have sex every day. If that's what I wanted, I could totally do that. But it's not like I don't want, and like I don't have a strong thing to do those things. Like I will probably go to Thailand or Bali on my business trip to Breakpoint, which is in Singapore, and while I'm in that area, I might as well check out the area around. I will probably do that, but it's not like I totally want to go to Bali. Like I'm even island out where there's like Solana stuff happening on a Greek island. I'm like, yeah, I'm okay to miss that. I don't have anything that drags me there. I'm like, I prefer to be here in Vienna or in Klagenfurt with my family because hey, they have children. I can play with them and dance with them. And speaking of dance, like lots of dance festivals that I go to. I'll fly to Manchester next week, then coming back, then fly to London for a hacker house, for Solana stuff, just for my entertainment. And then to Germany for another fusion festival. So yeah, I want to dance. I don't really manage to like have nice fusion nights here in Vienna. Like people keep not wanting to come, prioritizing other things. That's also frustrating me. That doesn't add to my well-being because I really enjoy that. That's like one of my main missions that I keep myself busy with, and I don't manage, and that's bad. That sucks. But yeah, that's what's going on. Yeah, I'm so sure that there is a sadness. I wish that sadness could come out right now, but it doesn't want to. It's too afraid. My sadness is too afraid. What would it say? I'm scared? Scared of dying? I'm scared of dying. I'm scared of dying and not having done some things that I wanted to do or something. It's really, really difficult to get there. But there is definitely a sadness there. But again, I have no idea what it's about or where it comes from or what it wants to tell me. I'm not connected enough with myself. And maybe I get there. And maybe I won't, and that's also okay. And I don't need to do it in front of a camera, and I don't need to do it in front of other people, and I don't need to do it at all if I don't manage. I wish I would be further with this than I am. Yeah, I wish I would know how all of this works. I wish I would be clean with myself, like with my emotions. I wish I would have a partner already. Yeah, interesting that partner topic at the moment that's not so present. It's like, yeah, whatever, I'm single and that's okay right now. Currently I really struggle more with what's the point of life? Interesting. Really, actually really interesting. Because that's unusual for me. Usually my biggest priority was always the find a partner. But now I'm like, well, we don't need a partner because it's pointless anyway. Wow. Okay, I'm getting cold. I think I'm gonna go. Did that help me sort my thoughts a little bit? Did I have any insights on myself? Did I show myself more authentically, I guess? Am I okay? Yeah, whatever. I'm okay not knowing the answers. I'm okay not having a purpose in life. I'm okay just living my life for my own enjoyment. I am okay living my own life for my own enjoyment. I'm okay living my own life for my own enjoyment. Let's try it differently. I'm okay living my life purely for my own enjoyment. I'm okay living my life purely for my own enjoyment. Yeah, doesn't really resonate, does it? That sounds fake again. But I'm okay living my life for my own enjoyment. I'm okay living my life for my own enjoyment. I'm allowed to live my life. I am allowed to live my life. Yeah, so in conclusion, I have no answers. I wish I had, or I wish I had an external authority that I would trust that has the answers, that I can just relax. But I don't. I don't know where we'll go between the it all doesn't matter anyway and the we need to change stuff and we need to work hard to do things. Probably a nice middle ground would be good, as with most things, the answer is somewhere in the middle. But yeah, it was interesting experiencing this full it all doesn't matter attitude for a few days. Because if it all doesn't matter, then I have actually a lot more freedom. Because it doesn't matter what I do, right? It only matters in the short term. Not to say that my actions don't have consequences, because they do, but long term, it doesn't matter what those consequences are, because the long-term consequence of everything is death. And so different people will figure out different strategies to cope with that. People might be like, the ultimate goal is to decrease suffering, which is a legit goal, right? I mean, that's something that we can actually optimize for. You can start with suffering of animals by not having any livestock. You can decrease suffering of humans by, building shelters and avoid climate change so they're not starving and whatever. Or also even just limiting the amount of people. Also education and helping limit the amount of people that are born in certain areas. If there are less people, there's less suffering. But that brings me back to, well, why don't we then just kill all humans? Then they don't suffer. Then we have optimized for minimal suffering. So that's, again, always if you're at the extremes, it's not good. The opposite of the reduce suffering is the increase happiness. We can play the same things. You probably want to do a combination in increasing happiness and decrease suffering, which all noble goals, but in the long run, whatever. I guess it's the circle of life to also suffer. I'll see you in whenever next LVlog. See you in Manchester for some fusion dancing, which is just distraction and just enjoying my life. Yeah, I'll enjoy my life, partly. And partly I'll just suffer like that. For no reason, no apparent reason. I have no reason to really suffer, but I do, because I make myself suffer. Yeah. Don't ask me why I do that, but I do that to myself. Well, I feel so tired now. My body really doesn't want me to continue talking about my feelings anymore. I make myself so tired. I'm like, can I just lie down here? And it's not like I'm tired I didn't sleep enough, because I slept for almost 10 hours today. I just don't want to deal with those emotions anymore. It's been enough, and that's okay. I can honor that, body. You get to chill again. And I'll see you whenever I see you. Whatever, what the fuck, who cares? Bye.